Greeting and welcome to the Intensive Success Growth. I am your host, Nishant Sharma. Please give warm welcome to our guest, Matt. Matt is a video producer, filmmaker, and podcast host. Welcome, Matt.
Hi, how are you? Good to be here.
Okay. And let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Okay, that's a very good question. I don't know if it was people, it was things that I did, it was things that I watched. I really like scary movies. And I really like movies in general and sports. So watching so many movies was really great for me because I wanted to learn all about them and how to make them and how to get into them and how to learn more about them, which I did. And I ended up taking some video production courses. I love sports a lot. I love live sports, and I started doing freelance sports production 15 years ago. So I kind of just took those steps to find the ways to learn these things so I could get better at them and learn about them and get to where I am now. And then when you do that, associate with other people who like to do that stuff so you can learn more about them and collaborate with them. So it's been a 20-year, 15-year, 20-year journey to learn all this stuff to where I am now.
Okay. What are the top three reasons why do people fail?
Why do they fail? Um, I don't know. That's a good question. Not seeing things all the way through, having an idea that's maybe too grand, not thinking it through. It's easy to fail, right? So I don't know that there's necessarily reasons for it. It's not maybe checking a list that you have. You have to be thorough. You've got to be sure what you're doing and you've got to think things through, and you can't be lazy. You've got to stay on topic on something. You've got to see it through. It can be hard to do, but I think that's the best way is to get through the BS and get all the way to the end to where you want to go.
Okay. What's your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
What did I learn? My greatest accomplishment, I guess you want to know, or my biggest failure you're asking, I guess.
Failure.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I have to be sure. Geez, I don't know, biggest failure. I've definitely done projects that I just haven't liked very much. And I think it's the stuff that I've looked back at. And I don't know if they're failures, but they've been learning things where I haven't known enough and I've thought I've known enough to do something and it just hasn't worked because I haven't had the skill set. I didn't have the experience yet to get to where I was. And we've had things where I've at jobs before and stuff where we've done shoots, things, they just don't work sometimes. The content may not be right. The crew may not be right. The technology might not be right. I don't know that I have one specific failure that I could name, but there's definitely been things that haven't worked in the past, and it's a variety of reasons. Greatest accomplishment on the other side of that is, having anything that I produce in a film festival so people can see it. Those are always my biggest accomplishments.
Okay. What's your top three success secrets that other can model from you?
Oh, biggest three to do. One thing I think I do a lot of in production and things like that, or you're dealing with clients and people a lot. You need to really, it's interesting. You love the technology, you love the gear, but you need to work with the people. Honestly, sometimes it's 80% working with the people and only 20% doing the actual technology things. You got to know. You have to know people. You really do. You have to know people, and you have to listen to them. You have to work with them. You can't just tell them what you think is best. You've got to listen to them, and you've got to do what they want and find out what it is so both you can work together. That's one of them. You got to know your gear. You got to know your inside and out of your technology. So you have to have a plan B, a plan A, a plan C, a plan D. Those are two. And you've just got to see the whole picture through, like we said earlier. So those three: knowing how to work with people and listening to them, understanding them, knowing your gear, knowing your technology, what works for it, and really being able to see things from A all the way to Z. You got to get that whole picture.
Okay. What motivates you within?
Making something look beautiful. Having an idea in my head of what something should look like, and then actually doing it, actually going through and doing it. Having that creative part of my head, half your brain is like the creative of how it wants to look, and that other half of knowing how to use your equipment and your gear and actually going and doing it. Starting from there, knowing what you want to do, having the right technology to do it. that to me is like, I sit there and I think of how great can this look? How awesome can this look? What can I do to get there? So I think it's creativity and it's technology. Those are things that motivate me to get to that final piece. And, when you work with a client or something, to get that handshake at the end to say, great job, you both achieve what you wanted to in the end.
What's your company motto?
My motto is, I guess, you know what? Do it right. Do it right. Do your job the right way. As long as you always do your job, you're going to get to where you want to be and you're going to get recognized for it. Do your job, do it right.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client, oh my gosh. Someone with a whole lot of money that I can make a movie. No. Someone who really wants to collaborate and someone who understands what production is. Somebody who knows, I would like to make a movie. I'd like to make a great video ad, but doesn't say I have $100 to do it. They say I have the budget. I understand the steps involved in it. I understand the process for it. It's someone who sees through the trees also, who gets it. And it's someone who really wants to love and really wants to do something. And it's someone who's doing something sometimes for their own passion, maybe not even for their job. It's something outside that they really believe in, like a purpose for something that they research or something like that, or a human cause or something. Someone that really, really wants to do something, not just I just want to do this so I can get on Instagram and spit out something to the world. Someone who really cares, who really gets it, and you can have that creativity and you guys can work together. I think that's an ideal client, right?
Okay. How do you find your ideal client?
I think that's a good follow on to that. I think that is working with a lot of clients and starting to, work with other people, find out, networking, right? You can sit there and shift through, ad after ad and job post after job post, and you can just take gigs for money if you want, but you really want to find something you want to do. You got to start looking for the people that do the same things you want to do. Start doing that, start finding your niche. And once you get to that, you can start to find the people that you want to do business with all the time.
Okay. How do you deliver 5-star client experience?
Yeah, I think that's super important, right? That's really important. That is being able to work with clients and work with people from day one. You always want to introduce who you are, what you do. Start with that, right? You're having a conversation with someone about a project. Well, why are you having the conversation? Let me tell you what I do. Let me explain that a little bit to you. What do you want to do? How do we best achieve this? What can I do for you? Let's go through these processes. It's updating people. A lot of times, video production is sometimes working on location for someone and then going back and editing for quite a while. And the client may not see what's happening. They don't interact with you. It's updating them every couple of days, updating them once a week, letting them know where you go, options for these things, explaining a lot of the technology I use. People don't understand it. I want to try to break that down so I can get to that level with you where we all can speak the same language and you understand fully what you're paying me for. Let me talk to you. Let me explain how this all works. It really is just talking, communication every step of the way, letting them know that you really do care about this and you are working for them and you want to hit this goal with them.
Okay, great. So how do you handle rejections?
You keep moving. you realize that it may not be the job you wanted. You may have wanted something very badly. It may not have worked for you. It doesn't mean you can't do something. It just maybe means it wasn't right for that situation. I think that's the best way to deal with rejection. And you keep going and moving. Some things just don't work out sometimes. Move ahead. Go to the next thing. Keep going. Don't stop.
How do you handle angry clients?
That's a good one too. You stay calm. You don't get angry with them. You let them vent to you. Let them explain to you what they're angry about. Listen to that and then go from there. If it's something you did, then you need to own up to that. And you need to own up to that. If it's something else, have a conversation about it. Give them that moment though. Let them get that anger out so you guys can talk about it. Let everybody calm down. Go from there. Don't ever say you're right or wrong. Have that conversation. Let the anger out, and you guys will get to where you want to go.
Okay. How do you crush your competition?
Competition is just going to be out there, right? How do you get better than it? I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of things are copycat, right? People kind of steal ideas from each other. I guess that's kind of part of it. You borrow something from somebody, maybe you just do it a little bit better. What's that extra step? What do you see from that person that they don't do? What do you notice? Maybe pick up on that and take that extra piece, right? So think about that, I guess.
Okay. How do you start your day?
Start your day by looking at your outreach, looking at your email, looking at your job postings, looking at your opportunities, looking at your LinkedIn, looking at your places where you have your outlets, thinking about who did I reach today? Who reached out back to me? That's interesting. What about this person? Where can I go from there? And it's also reading, things that come in from sites about technology. How can I be a better editor? How can I shoot footage better? Read what's out there. There's so much content out there. It can be overwhelming, but filter it down to what you need.
Okay, great. What are you grateful for today?
What am I grateful for today? I try to be grateful for everything. You never know how long you're around for. You may have a great shoot for a great company one day, and you may not have that job after a while. You may have had a great shoot for someone that was excellent. You may want to work with them again. Maybe you thought it was outstanding. Maybe they didn't. And, you lost that gig. But be grateful for all the work that you get, because you never know how long you'll have it. You may not get it again. Take every opportunity, be thankful for people that help you with these things along the way. Remember that everything is happening very fast and that things don't last forever. People aren't here forever. And remember those things. And at the end of it, say, that was great. I remember that. Write it down. Make a journal of it. Be grateful for everything that comes your way, even the bad things, because you're going to learn from those things too.
Okay. How young are you?
42.
You are not 42-year young. You are 18-year young with 24-year experience.
42. That's right. Yeah. Been doing it since I was 20, 21 years old, a long time.
Okay. Who's your living mentor and what's the impact?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good one. You know what? I have a lot that I really like. I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan. Love the music. He does the kind of music I'm into. He's a huge horror movie fan. He's done some great movies. I would love to be able to start doing the stuff like he does. Eli Roth is a director who I really look up to. Ty West makes a lot of great movies I like to. I would say those three are probably the ones that I look up to the most for inspiration. And I love the work that they do.
What's your favorite book and what's your top 3 learning?
Favorite book of all time? You know what? I don't know if I can give you a favorite. I love Stephen King. Probably my favorite books are from him. Bret Easton Ellis writes really good stuff too. Edgar Allan Poe is excellent too. I don't know that I have a favorite. I would say those couple are probably my favorite ones to read. My favorite authors to read, I guess, is the best way I can say it.
Okay. What advice you will give younger yourself?
What advice? Think before you do something. Think about the consequence of everything you're about to do before you do it. Just give it one more thought and really think through it. Yeah.
Okay. Once you have revenue generating idea, how would you convince your family member?
How do I convince them? You know what? People are motivated by what does well for them, right? ROI, return on investment, what makes you money. I think it's good to explain to somebody, hey, this is a good idea. This could be profitable to you. And explain how, let it be for them. How will this be a good thing for you? How will this work? You may be trying to do it for yourself, but if you let someone else know it'll be great for them and it's their idea, you're going to get them on board.
Okay. How can we support you?
Geez, you can support me by going to my websites, looking at my social media stuff, reaching out to me if you need any work, video production work. Our podcast is always there for reviews. People want to send in suggestions of movies to review. I write articles, things like that. So yeah, reaching out to my sites is always ways to do. Love to connect with people and see if what their interests are and what they want to create.
Okay. What would you like to say about your guest experience on this show?
I would say that it was very enjoyable. I had a good time. You gave me a lot of good questions. that I hadn't thought much about. So I'd like to fire off rapidly. So you tested me there, and I appreciate that.
Okay. What's your final word?
My final word is get out there and try stuff. That's how I've learned so much of this stuff. You want to do something, I say go and do it. You don't, things can seem daunting sometimes. You don't have to necessarily, go to some 6-year school, whatever. I encourage education, but if you really want to do something, there's so much out there now. There's so much you can learn on YouTube or somewhere else. Just go and do something. Just go and try it. If you really want to do something, go and do it and try it. And if you fail, get up and try it and do it again the next day. Just keep going. It will pay off.
Thanks, Matt, for sharing your wisdom with us. On the behalf
Bet.
of our community and team, we really appreciate you. Until the next
Yeah.
time, all good wishes to you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. Have a good one.